Hello. Jesus Christ. I guess I don't have to worry about that, well, no. There's plenty to worry about. My OBS just decided to forget my microphone, and I've been silent this entire time. Uh, I really need to find a permanent solution for that. That's really annoying. It's the second time it's happened. So why are you power failing? Should be like a balanced loop. You're out of what? Need hydrogen? Or you need methane? Huh. Guess it's just out of balance. I actually been quiet for 20 minutes. It's crazy, man. The healing axe? It could be easier to craft for you. If you find a division sigil in the enchantment table, you can just craft one. Like crazy, it's been running for so long that just all of a sudden decided that it doesn't want to work anymore. Hopefully that's in balance then. So maybe I should do like an in-between. Because I did have a issue earlier where the phenol wasn't enough to power all these. Now the methane isn't enough. Okay, how do I do this effectively? Guess I do that. Take you. Well, hopefully that works. Hate for it to get stuck again. But I should be able to turn you on now. Guess we'll see pretty shortly if that worked. Gives me an error or not. Might as well do the rest of the maintenance while I'm here. Am I out of solder? Right, yeah, it takes soldering material even if it doesn't repair anything. I remember that being pretty silly. Maybe I remember wrong. It's always a possibility. Either the game is silly or I am the silly. Honestly, the thing I'm most upset about right now is that I didn't get to thank the guy that rated me because my mic was brokey. That's quite unfortunate. Well, but my mic didn't work. Like I thanked him, but it didn't go anywhere. Just went into the void of my room. Well, I suppose I could see if I can reach him some other time. Maybe just wait him back at some point. Alright, now give me a bajillion hatches. It's not enough hatches, I need more. Always need more hatches. Be slightly overcrafting for this. Like you can see the amount of fluid over there, man. I need the hatches. Need all of the hatches. But that will just take a bit to craft. Did I finish these? Finished you. And you're also done. Alright. Can clean up a bit. It's a much better amount of cadmium. What was that I needed this for though? It's the superconductor. Could have been indalloy though. I think it was, yeah. I think I was looking around through some quest rewards and contemplating if I should take a quest reward of indalloy. Nay, I deduced that if I just get a bit more cadmium, indalloy is not too expensive. So then I took a treasure bag instead. I even have to prove most of the what they're called loot bags. Most of my loot bags are still in here. It's one of those. God damn it, man. Should really have to open those. I think the only reason why I don't is due to like the cope of maybe at some point I really need something from a loot bag and I would want all of the previous tier to lose to tear up. But even so, like I don't really check the loot bags. Like when I enter a tier, most of this is kind of just like I don't even know what most of it is. Like I do now since I gotten into the tier. I don't know how hard most of this would be, because you could get a more accurate example here. Like I have no idea what Callisto Ice or Leadox is. I'm just gonna sit here scrolling through every single reward to see if it's hard to craft. Is there some hard canisters here? Those could be useful. Too hard to make though. You kind of just need a lot of yellow hearts, and like I have that. I killed the withers very many times. Let's go get the framework set up. I like to try to spam as many casing blocks in the middle as possible, because then I have more space for hatches along the outside. Like, I don't really want to plaster the front face with wire, so I would really use all I could really use the front for would be like little loops, like that's kind of hard to see, but little loops with a output hatch going directly into an input hatch. But like because for most of these, that like, well, pretty much all of these need pretty much all these outputs are needed further down the line. So for little loops like that, also like to get away with a this maintenance hatch formation, because it looks nice. It looks nice when they're neatly organized instead of sporadically placed everywhere, and it's also a lot nicer for when you have to repair. I do think I'm at the point of the game where I can make the multi-block that makes me not have to deal with maintenance anymore. Like drone center, and have little drones that do the maintenance for you. And these just kind of seem to be locked behind a plat line, which I do have. All right. I guess my next step would be to organize what places I want what recipes. Because I do have a few conditions of what I want. Okay, so the better transformers do 16 amps, or is it 8? No, it's 16. You can make them do 2 amps. Okay, that's interesting. Making a more expensive transformer to transform less power. It's kind of funny. I want to I want to like keep the loops in the same location, and I want to put all of the stuff that needs sulfuric acid in the same location. I'll probably take up a full LCR. So if I do like, well, that's not what I meant to do. Keep forgetting like the little bits of the controls. Want to do that. I think even if I just put like the bare minimum of these in the same spot, that it will. I guess this one's a mixer recipe, and this one's also a single block, the distillery. So I guess it's just 3 recipes, but essentially it takes the space of 5, probably a little bit more, because it needs to be in a specific way for the single blocks to have the space they need. Setting up the single blocks is pretty much like the only really hard part of this. Even if I only get that done this stream, I'll be satisfied. That is like the complicated part. After that, the rest of it should just be take stuff out of a system and smash it together until I have polybenzimidazole. Oh shit, I said it correctly for once. I mean, I've said it correctly every single time. None of my times I said it incorrectly were recorded. Hehehe. You have no proof. I've not said that incorrectly. Even though I kinda just like admitted to having said it incorrectly. Ignore that. I think I'd want output hatch here, my final product. Feels relevant to place it front and center. Wait, you haven't died yet? Blood Moon. Be very impressive if you managed to not die at all, considering the early game bullying. Alright, the indium. How much have I accrued? 36, holy crap. That's not very much, but it's probably a lot for indium. Well, with more walls than most of people's starter bases. Actually, wait. Oh, I haven't seen your base, I wouldn't know. I'm thinking of a Hand Sniffer base. I swear that's his name. Yeah, I actually have no idea what your base looks like. But my starting base was also just like pretty much just a field. Guess I could show it. Like the most wall I had was just like this. It's pretty like exploded or salvaged at this point. Also this burned down. There's not much left over here, but it was only until LV that I actually made this, so it didn't really have very much cover either. How many deaths do I have actually? 19. It's pretty good actually. Deaths per hour. Yeah, pretty good stats. You're not that far away. I guess I could go take a look. I love just stacking every speed buff and going at 20 blocks a second. Rough estimate, I haven't actually checked it. Yeah, you definitely had a lot less wall than I did. You have wall around the essentials, let's just ignore the fact that mobs can just drop down into it. So like what do you do during blood moons? You just like ignore it or do you go somewhere special? Because I want to remember I haven't died on a blood moon either. Like it makes itself pretty damn known and you just take extra care, but also don't do anything as a result. Okay, so you're staying like out of your your base. I guess like the defense of your base wouldn't really matter. Like, the underground has plenty of walls though, so your point kind of doesn't really matter how many walls the base has if you're not in it anyways. But even so, there's still increased drop rates in the case, and if you miss a torch, it could get pretty hairy. Well, you do have some walls around your chests. All you really need is just like a bit of a roof. Or do you mean like a proper thought out construction? Some design and artistic inspiration. I guess having the putting enough thought into it to think that you should use chiseled blocks as a what word should I use? A well, I guess I could just say artistic inspiration straight up. Should mean that it's well, just try to define whether it's a house yet or not, but it's kind of making it subjective. There probably is just a straight up definition of it that I could go find, but I'm just trying to define it myself. Not really gonna get to a conclusion like that though. The only thing I can really say is like about like as a preparation for your base planning is always plan around needing more space. You'll always need more space. Like initially I was I don't remember like my initial plans, but I was trying to get away with like rooms of this size. This has also been pretty gutted. Should really clean this up sometime. This is where my EBFs used to be. This one isn't even in use anymore. Clearly crazy. Let's go check some maintenance while I'm here. These like the machines over in this side do run pretty noticeably, pretty frequently, whatever word I could use there. Well, it's not exactly often, but they do have the rounds. What is your go-to food, by the way? Because you just get like if you make beef Wellingtons, you really don't need very much farm infrastructure. Beef Wellington requires 4 different crops and just like fills up your entire hunger bar or saturation. Like there's the uh is it called like the decay of how much hunger it gives? But like when you have to eat it that rarely and when you can just like chug berries in between to restore the hunger values of the beef Wellington, it's not really too pressing of an issue. even so, I'd recommend, which it does seem like you are, rushing the healing axe. Alright. So I think what's gonna take the most space here is gonna be the sulfuric acid. So I guess I'll place that while I have all the space available. So I'd want the output from the machine to go up there, and the like the made sulfuric acid to go down here, because I do need to make sulfuric acid as well, because it only gives 2/3 of the sulfuric acid back, which is what like makes it complicated. You also have to consider that I have to power the machine as well. Also the output and the actually wait. No, there's nothing here that needs to go in cells. That's only for the mixer setup. But the mixer setup also requires sulfuric acid, so I'll have to deal with that as well. I could also just put the sulfuric acid output like directly into the output of the ready-made sulfuric acid directly into the mixer. I'll split between the mixer and the bottom input hatch, and I just hope that it can even out. Yeah, having two different loops for this that need to balance properly and not get stuck is probably going to be the most difficult part of this. Because preferably I would want to not need to set up two different distilleries for each setup. I want to funnel it through one. So I guess I'll just place down what I've thought. There's nothing here that's going to interfere. Well, it's all pointing inwards anyways. I just have to make sure that nothing gets accidentally put into any of these. Any fluid hatches here? Doesn't seem like it. Seems to just be buses. I'm not gonna be dealing with items on this side. So I have one output hatch there with diluted, and then I think I'd want to place sulfuric acid there, and then wait, can I do round robin on fluid conduits? Yes. Okay. Shouldn't be too bad then. If we just make a 50-50 split on the, well, I guess, hmm, no, it does get pretty complicated because like I can't just make two separate setups because the mixer can't have two different inputs or two different places to store it. I'm gonna go look at like because I have tackled this problem earlier. When did I do this? I I get I've done the exact same like the iteration filter loop here. That's just a block. It even is oh oh wait. No, I don't think this is actually the loop. I think this is completely self-balanced, and it doesn't actually need any initial sulfuric acid input. I think that's just why that works, but that's not going to help me here. So I guess I haven't solved this problem before. So I'm laying eggs right now. That's kind of annoying. Usually you end up laying like 6 eggs before it goes away. That's the third. Oh wait. So I was just checking a weird message that Automod was holding. Let me think. If I just hook the output of the salvage sulfuric acid into the mixer, will that work? Let me see like the actual numbers and the ratio. I think so. Would I make a priority input on a single block? Just in general. Maybe do like a fluid detector cover. I think that's a thing. Gives out fluid amount. Depending on how this works, this could be pretty manageable. But I think I have checked it before and was pretty disappointed. Fluid threshold. So a certain threshold, it should output a redstone signal, right? So if it works like that, then this should be manageable. Let's just grab a random fluid. So many different keybinds. Hell out of here. If I put you in here, you should output the power of 1. Actually, do I need anything more? Also for... Can I do redstone control and pumps? I think I have a pump. Yep. Doesn't seem so. Put a machine control cover on like a tank. Will I be able to configure it? Let me see. If I do this, I should be able to trigger the control cover. Put safe mode on the tank. It's kind of funny. So how would I set this up? So what am I looking for? I'm looking for it only to input if it's at a certain threshold. What I'm looking for. Let me go get a bit more fluid then. Really hope this is actually going to be the most difficult part of this. Like it also could just be pretty easy and I'm not seeing the easy solution. But I've ran into this problem before and I couldn't find a good solution. I ran into it down here at my nitrobenzene setup. This is why I discovered that I could do a priority input on multi-blocks. But I can't use the same idea for single blocks. Because like this one is being constantly refilled by the machine, and this one is a output from the distillation tower. Really hope I'm not gonna have to make a multi-block mixer to fix this. Like I can. It's a mixer. I do have those unlocked. But still, I really don't want to. It would make me. Do I have space for it? I think I just might. Could always use the front as well. Let me see if I can get this. So I want it to only output if it has a certain amount. So I want fluid detector cover here. Need to wrap around. Next on both of those. Then I do this. Use machine processing state. There's nothing there that could block it. Enable with redstone. No, disable with redstone. And then you give out redstone like that. Set you on 1000. Well, let's see. Didn't work. You disable redstone, so you should be saying disable right now. It doesn't seem like that works. The hell do I do then? I just bit my tongue. That really hurts. Anything else here that could help me? This is exactly what I want, but it doesn't have a recipe. It's just teasing me. Well, I guess I'm trying Google. Actually, there's still one more thing, I guess. Maybe a fluid regulator could be what I need. You could say that I'm trying to regulate fluid right now, so maybe can hope. Sure, I could set like the input amount with this. Suppose a way maybe I could solve this problem is just by like carefully balancing the flow rates of the like the recycled sulfuric acid and uh the the brand new one. Will I have to make a multi-block mixer for this? I think I'd rather make a really scuffed setup that kind of works than a whole ass multi-block. It's like this one's big. Whole ass multi-block to run one machine is pretty kind of like way too much. Uh, really been thinking about this for 20 minutes. It was quite a predicament though. Maybe I'm thinking about this wrong. Maybe instead of making a input limiter, I should be trying to make a priority input. How would I go about doing that? I'm trying to, well, like the part that I'm thinking about is how to make a make sulfuric acid recycling for a mixer recipe. So basically, the part I'm stuck on is trying to make sure that it uses the recycled sulfuric acid before the freshly made. Fortunately, there's no priorities on fluid pipes. Item pipes should get like a little thing, but it's only for the insertion anyways. Need like a output priority. I really have no idea. Maybe I could set up a ad hoc A2 system and fix it with that. Not too familiar with A2 though. Well, actually, yeah, A2 does have output priorities. Right, like set it up with storage buses. To be able to fix this with 2 storage buses and a fluid inserter. Would take up quite a bit of space though. Like I can't fix it with the IO. I can't fix it with covers. I don't really have any other means of doing logistics that I know of. This is a pretty tough problem to solve in a pack like this. Just like in modern Minecraft in general. How would I even set this up with AE2? Because like I can't have it getting in the way of my other setup. So I need to do it on a side that has like more than 2 faces open. I know that all of the IO A2 stuff in and out A2 stuff has priorities that you can set. These, which change whether it inputs and inputs first or last, or an outputs first or last. It's like complete control, basically. Issue just is that it's bulky and it also takes extra power. Suppose like I've already tried out on this issue already. Like it doesn't even seem like I can make a scuffed setup. So I guess at this point the options I have is either make a multi-block mixer or make it with AE2. And I would rather have a little bit of AE2 than a whole ass multi-block mixer thrown in here. So I would have to like rethink my entire setup here. But I still kind of have to though, because like AE2 isn't just like a piece of duct tape I can slap on this that's like not preferable to use, but still like just a fix all. Because it really isn't that. Because like I need a storage pod. I need a storage bus on this guy and uh on like whatever I put this output into. It could be that input hatch. But I guess I could move the fluids away first, I suppose. So I could like set up my ad hoc setup over there and then move the fluids over and have the mixer here. Still, then comes the issue of powering these single blocks. Yes, you seem like a someone who knows about PBI. Do you know how to deal with the sulfuric acid recycling, or more precisely the priority input for the mixer? So I'm kind of stuck on how to set that up. Hey, maybe I could, if well, that's still the issue of powering it though. More precisely powering this guy. I guess I could just like wrap the. That wasn't a question for you. There was someone into my chat that seemed to know about PBI. I basically asked them the same thing that I explained to you. So the thing I'm stuck on now is just how to get the like get the power up. Because it would be nice if I could like just simply run a cable in between these, but how I would get it like into the box, I'm kind of struggling on since I would need because I'm thinking I place like a tank there and a tank there, drag uh this output and this output over into those tanks, and like a 50-50 split or like a priority input. Actually, I can't do those with fluid and IO pipes. I'll deal with that when I get there. I'm just thinking. I guess I could run the cable below. Hmm. Yeah, I could do that actually. Like the cable along these 4 blocks here to reach it from the bottom, then run the power up this spire, power up here, and just run that one along the top. Guess I just start setting that up and see if I run into some issues. So this is just the output, so this can fill. Extract. Even though there should most likely only be one fluid running this line, I do want to set it to something unique and set a filter on the input as well. Or the insertion, not the input. Well, it's input into the machines, but output from the network. And this, I don't really care where it goes. I just need it to not overflow. Also be on red and robin. One of these will probably end up filling with time. Extract, that's not right. I forget what the naming scheme is. Export bus, right? So want a fluid export bus, which I don't have automated. Upgrade one of these though, or not. Wait, right. I also need to power that setup. Actually, I can do that. That block is free. No issues there. It's the fluid export bus. One of those. Perhaps this is a time where I should like set up the auto crafting for it instead of making one manually. But it's also, I can't really do that though. Then this is why I didn't have any of them set up, because I don't have any molecular assemblers. Probably make two. So I do use these sometimes for fuel insertion, but I guess I'm not really gonna need that much anymore now that I have a main power grid. Just checking some stuff. Perhaps I should have said that before I went to check some stuff instead of just going silent and looking like I crashed. Guess that's something for next time. Like this is like a 100% priority input, but the issue also kind of actually no, I don't think that'll be a problem because like I'm thinking like if this tank here is empty, then it'll just only fill up with stuff from the bottom tank. But like if this isn't running anyways, it doesn't need to take from there, so it's not actually gonna be a problem. At least it shouldn't be. I'm trying to find out what values I need to put for these. Uh, So if I set it to a higher number, I insert first and extract last. So modifiering but the extraction. So high numbers extract first. So you would be high number. And you would be slightly less high number. That should be it, actually. Actually, I also need to set up a quartz fiber and connect the rest of it to make some more cable as well. Right, these kind of take ages to make. How many do I need? Not that many, actually. Do I still have enough channels on this? That's using a whole 5 channels. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, that's full. Should have enough dense cables though. These take even longer to craft. What other 62 channels? I'm unsure of what you're referring to, Mr. Splinter. Kinda confusing me, I have no idea what you're talking about. How was your anniversary, Splinter? Guessing you're done with that now? You've had your thing. Was an anniversary, right? Or am I remembering incorrectly? That's unfortunate. Hope you both get well soon, then. Has to wait for all these to finish. Alright. Should just be able to hook it up and it should work at that point. Actually, I haven't set up this side yet. This circuit. Oh wait. I'm not done. I need to set up a cell loop for this. Because it only has one fluid input slot. But I also need to set up a actual output for this one as well. I kind of forgot about that, honestly. Well, I only have one side available anymore, but I could move one of these. Move you down, this tile should still be available, and I can input the nitration mixture here. I take this guy, because then I can keep the settings on that. Shoot down there. Put you like that. Get out, get out, get all the way. Then, oh, I think I did this. Seems so. Should probably do a better pump. I'm not broke anymore. I can afford a quality pump for this. Do also need a nitric acid input as well. And I can like just used all the space around this machine for the sulfuric acid alone. I kind of forgot there's more I had to do. But I can reach an end IO pipe in there. That's all I really need. I can do both in and out through that. But I do need to make nitric acid near here as well. Water output I can just void, and that should just be a quad input hatch. Anything else that needs hydrogen, nitrogen or oxygen? Plenty of things need oxygen. Don't need any of the others. Should place these as well before I use the space. Need to be in a pretty precise pattern. Not really sure what happens when you place a energy head like as so it's a part of multiple multi-blocks. But I have been warned about it by I think the quest book saying that's a bad idea, so I'll just take their word for it. But I'm guessing what would happen is that the energy hedges are available to both of the multi blocks, and since since the power system is a like a requesting system, both of them would be available to request through those energy hatches. And if they can't request enough, well, power fail. And maybe also some jank happens if both multi-blocks try to request from the same energy hatch at the same time, so even if that's technically enough, it could break. I'd rather just avoid that whole thing. What I hope to be obvious reasons. I guess I already stated my reasons of what parts of it could go wrong. So I even more so hope now that they are obvious now that I've literally said them. But you never know. Also, I don't even need a pump. I can't use a pump. It'll only allow me to do output. I guess technically not, but Essentially, yeah. And if it's possible to do it that way, it would be terrible. I'm thinking of like doing like do two pumps that face each other, both carrying a different liquid. That would be awful. But I don't really think there's a like a storage buffer tank that can do two different liquids at the same time, so it would probably end up not being possible. Or rather, it would likely end up not being possible. Just kind of locked in here. Okay, so I want what were you for? It was for the sulfuric acid that the machine itself needs. So I would think I may be able to put the input hatch on this side and the output hatch on this side, facing each other, and then I do this. I think it could take from the input hatch, but I'd rather not. It's probably gonna get silly. Or maybe it's also like it's an input hatch, disable the ability to take out of it, because it does do that by normal means, but the NIO pipes are kind of different from normal means. They like take directly. Like who really knows? It's kind of hard to predict, at least for me. I have never tested it, and if I have forgotten. Wait, no, you don't need that. Guess I could have just dragged the power in. Actually, no, I couldn't. Just the input hatch for the multi-block, is it not? Because in that case, if it doesn't even need to have anything to do with that over there, I would just place the output hatch. Oh no, I'd want to. So I would preferably want like the. No, like it really doesn't matter. This is not worth doing. Here you go again, unnecessarily compacting things. These I can't really use for anything anyways. I guess I could use it for a loop. I could use it for phenol. So yeah, should just be this. Access it from the back. I'll just have to reach it at some point, because this does need like a fluid input. I guess I could just deal with that now. Should be fine to just go grab 16 cells of phenol. Hopefully it's not gonna throw this this system off. Still not really sure how precariously balanced it is. Empty again. Why are you empty? because of a toluene shortage. Like, there's just kind of too much effort at this point. Like, none of this really works. Like, I don't like this is just a schematic that I found online as part of my trying to like get more familiar with schematics. It's not. It doesn't really seem to be like balanced properly. Besides, I also want toluene as well. Wait, I have toluene. So why is it being silly then? Why silly? Is it due to the benzene cells taking up all the buffer? Like all the cell buffer? It would seem to be because it's not actually taking it fast enough. Like, because these cells would need like that to be a full bucket of space to actually do something. Uh, so maxed. So which one's light blue? It so that's it taken out there. Or light blue's input into that. So I think I should be able to just like get a extra tank to fix this, or like a decently sized one, not my 32,000 liters, 32 buckets. Because if I do that and then copy this over to that, extract on light blue, Robin, insert on black. This should fill up, but then go fluid here and set that also to black. Black is just my final product output, so I need to set it to a unique color, I guess. Try yellow, maybe? Perhaps? I think yellow is good. Filter it, just in case. Uh, that still doesn't seem to be able to get that priority. It's not because there's any cover or anything on here. Can't really see. It's not. I guess I could also just like actually extract you on black. Actually, maybe if I try like actually allowing it to run, maybe that'll work. Oh wait, that does work. So that should allow it to actually start up making methane again. Which means I should probably rebalance this. Not really using anything, it don't really matter. So just do that. Take this out. Put you in there. You fill up with methane now. And they can actually produce again. I hope it doesn't consume too much methane now, though. Too much toluene, I mean. That isn't going in anymore. This means he'll use that first. Means he'll start using all the toluene. So how do I get this back to being actually balanced? Guess if I... There's also no output priority though. So I'll just get these out of... I don't need to disable that. Careful not to mix these. Because these need to go back in the buffer, and I should be able to do that just by shoving them in here. How would I deal with this though? Like it's just consuming toluene so fast. Well, perhaps I just go another layer deeper actually. And like set up a external toluene buffer. Or not external, separate toluene buffer. Because I could do that as well. Need a interfluid conduit. Yellow is used. I did end up using that. It needs lime maybe? No, it looks like it's used here. Try again. Pink, no. Gray. I think that's used for ash. It's also not used on the fluid side. So I want to play it safe. Magenta, I don't think magenta is used. And I would want to go get a different super tank. A different tank of soup. This is cool enough that I still get to make my own little changes to the setup. It helps me cope with the fact that I did just take a setup off the web. But I guess I don't really know how normalized that is. Rather how frowned upon that is by anyone other than me. Yippee! Toluene in a separate buffer. should be enough, like transfer speed. Right? Guess I can feel a bit better about it. I do typically not do it though. So I guess it's just because I have my own standards. Should allow the methane to fill up and for the toluene to be balanced. Because anything in here will just be the overflow. Phenol seems to be dropping. Why is the phenol dropping now? You know what? If it's a problem, it'll alert me with a power fail. I'll deal with it then. This was just meant to be a quick pit stop to pick up some phenol. But hey, I managed to fix a critical error of my central power producing system. So, really not too bad. Jesus. Like, I always underestimate how much time it takes to get anything done in this pack. I was hoping to be able to get this entire thing done in 2 hours, and oh look, it's been 2 hours, and all I've done is like deal with the single block machines bootstrapped to the side of it. Easy, man. Yes, I had a reason to be kind of concerned about PBI, but like it can't be worse than the flatline. Like the flatline is like two whole like double the amount of LCRs plus everything else. Like it cannot be worse. I'm pretty sure from here, once this part is set up, it will be like identical to setting up one of these blocks, which I have experience with, so that should go better. What I did here with the priority input, I have not done before. Probably could tell by the fact that I spent half of the stream just thinking about how the hell to do this. For anyone that's been around that long. Oh, well, I guess I'm saying it for the people that haven't been around that long. I haven't made one of these in a while. I haven't. I've just straight up not had to. It's called a conveyor. My goobus. I want a better one, anyways, though. MB should do. Please use rubber. It is literally free. And silicone rubber is like slightly expensive. Like very slightly, bare minimum slightly. So I still think it's completely dealt with. I think it's just styrene butadiene that's annoying due to me still not having uh set up this oil cracking setup to like actually run. Like I built this entire thing just to run it once, and it's just been good enough. The butadiene is a bit low though, but I think it's always been low. It's not too big of a percentage yield. Alright, so now input, export. I forget what I need to do. It could be no soldering irons, like signal strength. Could be shift click with screwdriver. No. I haven't figured out how to uh make it not block input. Don't remember. I do know with very high certainty that there is a way. I just don't remember how. I guess I'll just try my different tools. Hammers, muffle. Searching it. Wait, did I? Maybe it does use a wrench. Just rotates the. Well, I needed to rotate that anyways. Rotates the front face. Actually, maybe. Right, I just needed it to be rotated. I actually remembered it correctly. That's nice. Even though that's not a thing I typically forget. But it still has been a while since I needed to touch up on that. I could be proud of myself. No one else will, I will. It is kind of getting a bit late for when I typically want to stream. I don't want to like push it too far. Like it's 10 p.m. my time zone right now. My family is like actually going to sleep. I'm not because I'm unemployed, but I probably shouldn't be streaming. I haven't really seen my mom today. I would want to go talk with her a bit, so I'll probably end it here. Just want to confirm what's working. This one should be fully set up, except for power. This one is missing everything except the sulfuric acid. That was just some notes for myself. Perhaps I'll remember them. Anyways, I I shall be going now. I implore you to leave a follow if you enjoy it, and hope to see you again. But I am skedaddling. Take care.